Hey guys, so after researching Reset 1800s and Mudflood for myself, I've got a little bit more of my research to share with you, and this one is about the alleged construction of the London Underground. What we're looking at here in this first picture is what the inside of a tunnel construct should look like. This is a nice new shiny one, and this is, yeah, what they are supposed to look like new. And here's just another example of a similar structure. And obviously they come in various different sizes dependent upon the size of the tunnel, but you get the general idea of what one of these new looks like. So this is my first picture of the alleged construction of the London Underground. Now, as you can see, this structure that I just previously showed you in a previous picture is full to the brim of debris. Bits of broken wood, and it's literally over 3/4 full, isn't it? There's only a very small bit of it that's open. The majority of work here that seems to be going on is well, there's very little work going on actually. They're all kind of standing around, not doing much, and everybody in a mile radius is posing for this picture. But yeah, wheelbarrow stuff, like sort of getting stuff out the way. And to the left here, if you look up, this is actually still covered in some sort of debris and mud, isn't it? That they haven't quite dug this side bit out yet. And yeah, I just find this whole picture intriguing. And this very clearly, obviously, is not a new one of those, is it? It's definitely not. So, on to the next picture. More of the same, really. They've got a little bit further in there now. And again, it's so weird, but like how this guy over here, right, a mile away, is posing for this picture. Um, yeah, okay. So now in this one, what I want to bear in mind is, this picture was taken in the 1800s. So this was before World War One and World War Two. Now, it looks like this area, looking at these buildings to the left here, and looking to this building up here, has suffered some sort of catalysm of some type. And you can see here where they're holding back the structures. And again, lots and lots of rubble here. And what I noticed, they've got these big like blocks of masonry. And the only bit of work, again, because these lot are quite work shy, aren't they? That I can see going on is them actually pulling these blocks out of this. So yeah, let's move on to the next one. So instantly what I was drawn to in this photograph was, as you can see, look, that's the bridge there, comes to this level. Here on the other side you can see, look, where there's remnants of still where they haven't quite dug out from whatever's happened, the geological event. And this side here. And also it looks to me like there is a pre-existing wall here and here. And again, it's like somebody's got a megaphone going, oi, oi, you on the hill, pose, say cheese, because they're like posing right up here for this photograph. So, again, now what struck me as odd in this photograph is that this isn't a very standard way, is it, to stack your building material? And then on closer inspection, sorry, that's old worn stuff, isn't it? That's not new. That's not, you know. So they haven't stacked it like this. I hypothesise they've uncovered it. They're pulling this out at the moment. And then um, all very very strange. And everybody again in this photograph is posing. It's like oh, look at us building the London Underground, you know. And if you've got a midget here, bless him. Um, well, I'm beginning to wonder: are these just crisis actors of the 1800s? So let's move on. So yeah, further down the line, and again, I think there's clear evidence in this picture to suggest that they're uncovering the previous ground level in a previous structure. So here to the left of the picture, you can see this like pipe, and you can see the foundations of this structure, this pipe here, going all the way down. And if we look here, a bit further to the middle of the photo, there's this arch. Well, that's half an arch, isn't it? That arch was originally much bigger, in my opinion. And this here, I think, is where they've kind of secured the foundation of this building here. And I find it interesting that from this arch they go down, and here they are, look at the level. There's the workshop lot again, doing absolutely no work, and you know, as in previous pictures, people like a mile away are posing for this picture. And again, you know, look how they've stacked their building materials. What this is their freshly delivered, um, you know, wood to do this with, is it? No, I'm not buying it. Now here, this is part of the station. The very first thing I noticed in this picture is that there's a huge, huge amount of earth coming up. I'd say about half, well, up to this wall here. Yeah. Lots of mud piled everywhere. But of huge, huge significance in this picture, I really want you to take in that there's a wall here and a wall here. All right. So they've just got scaffolding up. They're just sort of fixing this roof structure here. But this wall's already here, and so's this one. And pay close attention to this pile of mud. Other than that, again, they're not doing any work, are they? They're just standing round, loving life. There's lots of like evidence of broken bricks and things, I think, where there's like previous debris. Okay, now this is a really, really interesting photograph. So I don't know if you can see, I'm going to zoom in a minute, but here you can see a massive wall of mud or earth. And then just above it you can see half arches, which is the remaining of that wall I just showed you a minute ago. Right, this one. Remember this with the mud? So let's go back. We're looking at it from the left here. So I'm going to zoom in a bit, and I really hope you can see this. Behind this scaffolding is arches, and that's part of that wall. And as you can see here, this is part of the mud that they haven't yet dug out, and it comes up really, really high to this wall. And while we're zoomed in, another thing drew my attention, which is these the scaffold that they're using are actually just bits of tree branch. And so, you know, not only are these lot workshop crisis actors, they're also bodge job men as well. I mean, seriously. Right, so here we go. Now, this is the finished project, right? Let's have a look at this wall, shall we? Does this look new to you? Does this look like a brand new build? No, it doesn't really, does it? It looks pretty old and weathered. And to the left here, this is what this view we were looking at just a minute ago. This was literally covered in mud, okay? And they've dug it out and put this roof on. So, in conclusion, a workshop, bodge job, gang of crisis actors, and probably some Freemasons have taken credit for building London's transport infrastructure